Monday afternoon, a violent storm swept across the Pyrenees Mountains, causing severe damage in many areas, especially in Lasu d'Urgell and Puera. Within minutes, torrential rain, hail, and strong winds submerged the streets, disrupting daily life. Temperatures dropped suddenly, shifting from oppressive heat to chilling cold in an instant. In the town of Lasergel, rainfall exceeded 43 liters per square meter in a short span, leaving many streets deeply flooded. Fire services received about 30 emergency calls related to flooding and landslides. The N260 highway, which passes through the municipality, was temporarily closed in both directions due to a landslide, while several public facilities, including swimming pools, gyms, and parks, were inundated. Residents were shocked by the storm's intensity. One local wrote on social media, "My grandmother said she hasn't seen rain this heavy and intense in years." The post was accompanied by images showing widespread flooding. In Puigcerdá, the storm brought an extreme temperature drop from 32.5 degrees Celsius to just 15.7 degrees Celsius within an hour. This nearly 17-degree fall clearly demonstrated the unusual strength of the weather system. In response, Catalonia's Civil Protection Authority activated the ANANCAP plan, warning of the risk of heavy rain and flash floods across central Catalonia and parts of the Pyrenees. Forecasts suggested that on Tuesday, rainfall could exceed 20 liters per square meter in just 30 minutes, raising the threat of localized flooding in northern and western Catalonia. Beyond Spain, Italy also faced destructive weather. A severe hailstorm struck Pimento, flooding Highway 128 near the Summitai Junction in Sonerby. A large pine tree was uprooted and fell, causing a traffic accident. Heavy rains continued across central inland regions and along the country's southwestern coast. Storms battered the new mountains, the towns of Usasai and Aglastra, and mountain areas near Capitara, bringing intense lightning and strong gusts of wind. Another serious incident occurred in Segnori, where a massive pine tree collapsed onto Provincial Road 5, crushing 2 cars. At least 1 person was injured. The Cagliari Fire Department quickly arrived, rescued the victim, cleared the road, and cut down other hazardous trees to secure the area. These events highlight how extreme weather continues to pose a constant threat in southern Europe this summer. Experts warn that global climate change is making storms more violent and unpredictable, with hail, flash floods, and strong winds becoming increasingly frequent. There was little time to prepare. The sky, once clear, suddenly turned dark gray. People were still working, shopping, or walking outside when the first hailstone struck. Emergency alerts were issued, but for many, they came too late. By then, nature's fury had already begun. The sound of pounding hail echoed everywhere. Ice slammed into rooftops, vehicles, and sidewalks. Some hailstones were as large as grains of rice, falling so rapidly that within minutes, streets turned into a white sheet of ice. Panic spread as residents rushed indoors. Cars skidded out of control, buses stopped, and shop awnings collapsed under the weight of hailstones. The city center looked frozen, not by snow, but by chunks of ice falling from the sky. Locals captured haunting images, torrents of water mixed with hail rushing through the streets, sweeping along debris, leaves, and mud. Drainage systems quickly overflowed, turning avenues into winter rivers in the middle of spring. In nearby villages, the situation was even worse. Brown floodwaters swallowed roads. Parked cars were swept away like dry leaves. Entire homes stood half-submerged, dark and powerless, their windows empty and silent. Power outages struck large areas as transmission lines failed and transformers exploded. Repair crews worked through the night, but the damage was too extensive to restore electricity everywhere. Small businesses suffered severe losses. Windows cracked, roofs leaked, and market stalls were ruined. Shopkeepers swept up broken glass even as hail continued to pound outside. Farmers faced devastation. Orchards, vegetable crops, and even tea plantations were destroyed, leaves shredded, branches broken. Within less than an hour, an entire year's harvest was wiped out. By morning, local officials surveyed the destruction. Some farms could recover within weeks, but many would not rebuild until the next season. Early estimates showed massive financial losses. Emergency crews worked through the night. They cleared fallen branches, restored electricity, and distributed tarps to families with damaged roofs. Teams went door to door, checking for injuries and delivering food and drinking water to those in need.
Nature doesn't send us warnings, but we can. Floods, earthquakes, wildfires, and storms are striking harder and faster than ever before. By subscribing, you are not just watching, you are joining a movement to stay alert, stay informed, and helps others to do the same. Hit the subscribe now because the next disaster won't wait, and neither should you. Be ready and be aware.
According to the Zhejiang Provincial Meteorological Department, Typhoon Danis made landfall at 11:45 p.m. local time, with wind speeds reaching up to 20 meters per second. Prior to this, Danis first struck Taiwan on the morning of July 7, 2025. It then made a second landfall in Dongtou District, Wenzhou City, in Zhejiang Province at 9:25 p.m. on July 8th. Although Danis did not directly impact the weather in Thailand or Vietnam, it is expected that the remnants of the storm will intensify the southwest monsoon, causing heavy rainfall and turbulent seas. The National Center for Hydrometeorological Forecasting has warned that due to the influence of a low-pressure trough over the northern Vietnam region, combined with the active low-pressure system, areas in the northern mountainous regions will experience heavy rain between 30 to 70 millimeters, with some places expecting 180 mm or more. There is a risk of intense rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters within just 3 hours. From July 10th, the rain is expected to spread throughout the entire northern region, with 70-inch to 150 millimeters of rain expected in many areas, and some areas possibly seeing over 300 millimeters. There is a significant risk of extreme rainfall in a short period, potentially reaching over 150 millimeters in 3 hours. For visitors traveling to the northern provinces of Vietnam, particularly in the next few days, it is crucial to keep an eye on weather forecasts and limit travel in mountainous and hilly areas, which have a high risk of flash floods and landslides. During heavy rains, avoid outdoor activities such as trekking, mountain climbing, exploring caves, or staying near rivers, streams, and gorges. Tourists should also be prepared with raincoats, non-slip shoes, and flexible schedules to ensure safety. Typhoon Danis brought substantial rainfall to many provinces in eastern China on July 9, 2025, severely impacting daily life and industrial activities, especially in key economic regions with high-tech industrial zones. This is one of the most extreme weather phenomena in China since the beginning of the 2025 monsoon season. In response, local authorities have issued flood warnings, suspended school classes, and temporarily halted water transport services. In Fuzhou City, schools were closed on July 9th, and emergency response teams were mobilized to deal with the risks posed by flooding and long-duration heavy rainfall. Several coastal cities, including Fuzhou and Xiamen, are monitoring water levels closely, while measures to prevent flooding have been put in place. Passenger ferry services in the region have been suspended to ensure safety. After making landfall in southern Taiwan on July 6th, Danis weakened into a tropical depression. However, its remnants continue to cause heavy rain in Zhejiang, Fujian, and are moving further inland toward Jiangxi and Guangdong provinces. Some areas have already recorded rainfall of up to 300 millimeters. Despite weakening, Typhoon Danis, previously storm number 2 in the South China Sea, remains dangerous due to its slow movement, with speeds around 15 to 20 km/h, prolonging the rainfall and increasing the likelihood of flooding in areas with poor drainage infrastructure, especially inland provinces. It is forecast that the heavy rain will continue until at least July 15. Meanwhile, the inland provinces of Anhui, Hubei, and Hunan are experiencing extended heat waves, with temperatures hovering around 35 degrees due to the influence of a subtropical high-pressure system. In recent years, China has witnessed increasing signs of climate change, with more frequent storms, heavy rainfall, and extreme heat. These trends pose a significant challenge to disaster management, particularly in rapidly urbanizing regions where infrastructure is struggling to keep pace. As a result, local governments are strengthening their response plans to ensure the safety of citizens and minimize damage to China's economy. After devastating Taiwan, Typhoon Danis made 2 landfalls in Zhejiang province, eastern China. The first occurred at 9:25 a.m. in Wenzhou City, with the strongest winds near the storm center reaching level 9. The second landfall occurred in Shuyin City at 11:45 p.m., with wind speeds slightly reduced. According to China's meteorological agency, Danis will continue to move inland, bringing heavy rain to provinces such as Jiangxi, Hunan, and Guangdong. Yu Kun, a meteorological expert, stated that after landfall, the storm would move westward, weakening further. However, the low-pressure system left behind could persist in central China for over 3 days, gradually weakening before dissipating in northern Vietnam. In history, a similar storm occurred in 2006 with Typhoon Bilis, which maintained its strength after making landfall, causing continuous heavy rainfall in southern China. Due to the impact of Danis, regions in eastern and southern China are expected to experience heavy rainfall in the coming days, according to the National Meteorological Center of China, Some areas in Fujian and Guangdong have already recorded rainfall totals of 300 millimeters.